Hey guys, what is up? What is up? I'm here today to bring you a manga review of Green Blood, Chapter 11, called Hostility. I'm going to talk about the chapter, give you a brief summary of what happened, and then I'm going to get into Green Blood itself and why I chose to do this particular manga. Because, again, you know, I'll get into all that. So this video is going to be a little bit longer because it's not just a review of episode 11, but a whole review on Green Blood itself. So let's just start off with what happens. So we start off, we're at a bar or club, and there's basically a brawl that breaks out, and there's three guys responsible for the brawl get taken out back which is where the pier is. They get tied up, and one by one they get shot, except for the last guy who's allowed to live to spread this. And basically, and this guy's name is Raymond Fitzgerald, and he is the number 2 guy for the Iron Butterfly, which is the rival gang to the Gravediggers. And basically it really follows him around because him and the guy he's with start talking about what are they gonna do. The guy he's with wants to promote go to war with the Gravediggers because they're getting weak, and he figures if they topple them, they have control of the 5 points of New York. And Ray, he really is not that interested in the Gravediggers or going to war. He doesn't see them. He thinks it's too much trouble, basically. He's not that interested. However, what he is interested in is the rumors and the legend of the Reaper, aka Brad Burns. At the same time, and in the same place, Luke Burns, Brad's younger brother, is with his best friend. They just get off of work, and his best friend's like, listen, we're 16 years old, we haven't gotten laid yet, we're still virgins, people are looking down on us, we gotta go get laid. And it only makes sense. Now, funny enough, again, this is all happening in the same, right next to each other. Ray overhears them talking about trying to build up the courage, and he's like, yeah, you gotta come with me, I'll get, I know a place that has really nice girls, trust me. So basically he takes them to the whorehouse, that's under his gang's control, and obviously these guys have no idea, he has no idea this is the Reaper's little brother. Now, watching all of this is Kip. Kip, I believe Kip McDowell. That's his name, right? Yeah, I'm good. Kip McDowell, which is the Gravediggers' boss's son. He's a scumbag, and he doesn't deserve to live. And he found out that Brad had a little brother, so he's been watching him because he wants to use this to his advantage. He's up to no good. And so he sees them go into the whorehouse, and then we get a funny scene because this is done almost very authentically, so it's one of the few times we get to see some Japanese stylings in here. And what happens is the whore, undresses, the prostitute undresses, she's naked. And okay, for you guys that don't know, this manga is really rated R. It has adult language, violence, obviously, and nudity. So the whole package, and it's really well drawn. But anyway, so she's like, "Don't worry, well, He's like, I want to do this with somebody I like," and she's all naked. She's like, "Don't worry, I'll help you out." And when she goes, he literally has the nosebleed and he passes out. And it was a funny scene in this thing, and she's like, "I can't believe he passed out." So then we go downstairs, and Ray looks like he's about to have some fun. He has some ladies, and all of a sudden, the men drag in Kip, who has a very sinister, he almost looks like the Joker in his smile. Which means he's plotting something. Obviously, he's gonna get his brother into trouble. Brad's brother into trouble. But that's the end of the chapter. And that's basically what happens. All in all, I think it was a very interesting chapter. We get to meet basically one of the guy on the cover with Brad, who is seemingly his rival in this volume, in volume 2, and so it's a very interesting turn of events of how coincidences are working themselves out. I enjoyed the chapter immensely. I'm gonna give it just because of the addition of the new character, and we get introduced to some of the new villains and the things that are coalescing in the story. I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 5, I would say. I really like this series. Now I'm going to talk about Green Blood in general. Now, currently I am reading it off of the Manga Stream website. So they just released chapter 11. I don't know if in other places you can get the thing and it's further along. But I'm just going by when it comes out on Manga Stream. And so I just recently, because I had forgotten that I was reading this manga, and I saw they added a new chapter, so I just marathoned the whole thing again, reread it from 1 to now the latest chapter. And what really impressed me about this particular manga is it is a work, it is literally a work of art. The backgrounds in this manga are absolutely incredible. They're fully detailed, in the first volume we had the first 2 or 3 pages were full color. I would love the whole thing in full color, honestly. It's excellently done pen work. This manga is very similar to like Gangs of New York. Like, if you liked Gangs of New York, minus I'm not a big fan of Leonardo DiCaprio, you would love this manga. It's set in that era. It's basically the story is about Brad and Luke, who are these Irish brothers, and they live in the 5 Points. And the younger brother Luke is this honest, kind-hearted, pure-hearted person who hates the mob, or not so much the mob, the gangs, and he wants nothing to do with it, and he has a positive outlook on life, even though it's just him and his brother. And his brother, you get introduced to Brad as this seemingly lazy guy who loafs around all day, but in reality, he is, and his brother has no idea, he is the Grim Reaper of the Grave Diggers gang, which is the oldest, powerful gang in the 5 Points. But they've been on the decline because the old generation is getting older and dying off, basically, and the younger generation hasn't stepped up in the gang, so it's on the decline. With the exception of Brad, who is their Grim Reaper, their hitman, who everybody fears, and he is just nasty. He has a gun sword, which is awesome. He has a revolver with like a long like machete at the end of it, and he's ruthless. He's efficient, and he does what he has to do. He kills people for exactly $10. That's his price, and he is looking for his father, and he knows his father is on this locket he has, and in the locket he has his boss, the leader of the Grave Diggers, and his father are in the same picture. So he wants to find his father because he wants to kill his father. We know from later chapters that his mother is dead, So it's a and I don't know if the boss knows whose sons they are from, because I do know that he found them when they were children, and took them in and raised them to be a hitman. So, you know, and now Brad has a girlfriend who's a local whore, and I forget her name, but I'm sure I'll remember it. And she's basically, she knows everything about him. She knows the truth of who he is, and she helps him alleviate, and she's almost like a conscience for him, and alleviate the stress from being a killer, because even though he's very good at it, it is against his character to be this cold-blooded guy, but that's who he has to be to get his revenge. And like I said, he has a detective looking for it. Now, as Volume 1 progresses, which I believe Volume 1 had 7 chapters in it, we get introduced to Kip McDowell, which is the son of the, he's the son of the boss, and he's going to be taking over. Now you can tell right away that his father thinks he's worthless and he's a scumbag, because it's just on the way they talk to each other and the way they operate. And basically, he's put him in charge of the whorehouse. All he's supposed to do is collect money from them, and it's their whorehouse. And he feels that's beneath him. He wants to start killing people. He doesn't think they need the Grim Reaper. And so, there's discipline issues between him, and he doesn't talk to his father the right way. So there's discipline issues there. He's a scumbag, basically. He's a scumbag. So he goes to the whorehouse, and what he does is, there's this rookie girl who hears that he's the boss's son, and she's like, this is how I'm going to get in. I'm going to fuck this dude, and, I'm going to get in with the young boss on the rise up. And she was young and beautiful, and so that's before, and she's friends with Brad's girl, and before she could warn him about this guy, she already opens her mouth. So she goes in there, and he's laying down, and they're about to have sex, and she sees his penis, and she's like, "Oh, it's so cute." Which is, okay, ladies, never want to say it's cute. You know what I'm saying? Massive, powerful, scary. Oh my God, look at that. But cute, unless you've been with the guy for a while. And it's softy penis before or something. I mean, I'm getting too adult here, but I'm just saying, don't do it. So this guy loses it, and he cuts her face up. I don't know. It almost looked like he cut her eyes out. I don't know, but he cut her up real bad in the face and threw her out the window. They were on the 2nd floor, and just then, Brad and Luke are walking by and see this. Brad immediately knows who it was that threw her out the window, and Luke then takes her back to a doctor, and he saves her life. And you get the feeling Luke may now somehow like her, and I wouldn't say love at first sight, but he feels for her, and part of him wants to protect her. And Brad's girl is all distraught about it because she blames herself. She got her into the whoring business. She was only there 2 days, and she said she'd protect her, and she didn't. And when when the leader, of the Gravediggers finds out about this, he's infuriated. Oh, I skipped something completely. I mean, I guess it was in the beginning, so it's not too essential. They did kill a police officer, the Gravediggers, who was extorting them, and he was a Weasley scumbag, and he was going to have them kill another cop, and instead they killed him instead. They figured, just another dude dead, and there's always another shitty ass cop to take his place. But alright, that aside, back to the main story point here. And so she feels responsible. The boss of the Gravediggers is furious that somebody could mess up a girl at one of his establishments. And so he goes, and obviously no one says anything when he asks who did this, because who's going to ride out the boss's son? So that goes without saying. And he was giving everybody the mean look, the evil eye. And he leaves. And then they leave. He convinces his father that I'll handle it. And then basically what happens is now he asks his son again later on, you know, if he's like, I think I have some leads, I haven't taken care of it yet. And he gets brought in there because there's going to be a hit mission. Like, he's going to put him on his first hit. And he wants the Reaper to follow him and be his escort and bodyguard on his first hit, you know, to make sure nothing happens to him. So this guy's basically just tied up, and he just walks over and he shoots this guy in this alley. And then he's like, haha, I did it. And he's talking about how much he enjoys killing, or he's going to enjoy killing. I think this is the first person he actually killed. And all this crap. And Brad is just getting disgusted by this guy. And Brad's like, listen, I got to take care of the body. He's like, I guess I'll leave that to you. I'll walk away. So Brad goes to start to take care of this body. And he even apologized to the guy that got shot. When just then, Brad's chick shows up and shoots him. But she wings him in the shoulder, and not the side of the shoulder that has the heart in it. So, whatever. So he goes down, he hears the gunshot, and Brad walks out to see her holding a gun, and he's like, fuck. Right? You can tell that's it. That's what he's thinking. And basically, you know, Kip isn't dead. He's ordering Brad to kill her. She's like, you know, that's right, you're just like everybody else. I thought you were different. And they shoot, and he shoots the gun out of her hand, but injures her. And she's like, Brad, I want you to kill this guy. He's like, I'll do it for $10. And she's like, okay. And he's like, you know, payment, basically mission accepted. And he tells her to go back to his house, to his little brother, and ask him to dress the wounds. And that's what happens. She goes back. So there's a cliffhanger at the end of Volume 1, because he's gonna shoot this guy, and it's the boss's son, and you don't know if he actually shoots this guy. And then Volume 2 kicks up, and Volume 2 is gonna be bigger than Volume 1. It has 10 volumes, and basically what happens is he's gonna kill him. You know, he starts to cut his throat. He shoots him in the face to give him a little scratch. And he's going to shoot him. And the boss comes out with 2 guys. And like, listen, if you do this, I'll kill your brother. We'll be even. You don't want to just go back to being my pet. And he thinks about it for a while. He shoots in the air and he basically lets it go. But important to note that this motherfucker on the floor, Kip, now realizes that he has a little brother. And like I said for the review of 11, it becomes important. So basically now, you know, in this volume, we get, alright, he has, you know, we don't get too much action, but we get some story. His girl isn't going to be a prostitute anymore. She found a new job. Kip is out to get, Kip never liked him anyway, and so he's out to get him now that he knows he has a little brother, and he finds out who his little brother is by following him. And that's where we are. And then that catches us up to 11. So, basically, again, what really drew me to this anime is the artwork. The background artwork is amazing. It is so good. And the way the characters are drawn, phenomenal. Very realistic as far as the body shapes are concerned, especially with the nudity. I dig the error. I don't think it's been done too much, you know. It's cowboy-esque the way it is, only he's in New York. He's a hitman. He's a gunslinger. And it's just, I think it's really cool. And, you know, I can't wait to see where this is headed. And, you know, just a little bit more about me into anime. And I love the characters in it. I love both brothers. I think they're great. I love how awesomely cool he is, you know what I mean? As the Reaper. And now, again, me into manga, I periodically read the manga. The reason why I chose this one is because, at least on Manga Stream, it's been coming out periodically. I mean, for a few months there, nothing. And then all of a sudden, it's been coming out pretty steady. So I am not even sure when the next issue's due out. But, I'll keep monitoring it. And as they come out, I'll do a review for it. And that's why I chose this manga. Because really, the commitment out of me isn't I have to be reading every week. It's I have to, see if it comes out. And when it comes out, then I'll read it and review it. But I really enjoy Green Blood. I feel like it's under mentioned, like it's under noted. No, I don't really hear people talking about this manga, and it's I'm gonna suggest reading it for those of you out there, because it's only at chapter 11. It's the beginning of this manga, this manga doesn't look like it's gonna be too big. It looks like it's going to be rather a shorter story, but even if it becomes long, it's nice to know you could start this thing in the beginning. I mean, I just read the whole thing in like 25 minutes from chapter 1 through 11, so it's really not hard at this point to get into it, and I suggest it. I think it's really cool. Like I said, if you like Gangs from New York, but I think the characters are better in this than in that. You're gonna love this. The whole thing as a whole. I mean, it's ongoing. It hasn't ended, but right now I'd rate the series as a 5 out of 5 in my opinion. I really love it. It's not for a younger. It's not a younger audience type thing. It's really like a rated R piece of material, and it's very good and very authentic in my opinion. So, this is Alert Wolf. This video's gotten long on me, but like I said, I was gonna talk about the whole series in general, and my just opinion on it, and my opinion on manga. Well, let me just say this real fast. My opinion on manga, up until recently, I would say the last year or so, I have never been into manga. I've been more into traditional US style comics. So like I said, I wouldn't say I'm a manga fan, so to speak, but I am starting to get into the art form and this style of comics. And it's growing on me. So, that being said, click it up if you like it. Subscribe if you can. Comment if you must. And this is Alert Wolf signing off.